pitch-black depths of the ocean, far below sunlight, storms, and human memory, something ancient stirs. A shape moves slowly across the sea floor, armored, alien, and patient. It does not hunt with speed. It does not roar. It waits. This is the Giant Isopod, the creature scientists quietly call one of the ocean's greatest survivors and storytellers whisper about as a living fossil. A titan of the abyss, a scavenger that has outlived worlds. Down here, at depths where pressure can crush steel and darkness feels absolute, evolution followed a different rulebook. And the Giant Isopod became one of its most enduring masterpieces. The deep ocean is not empty. It is not silent. It is a vast alien realm covering more than half of our planet, yet less explored than the surface of the moon. Temperatures hover just above freezing. Pressure increases relentlessly, hundreds of times greater than what humans can survive. Food is scarce. Time moves differently. And still, something thrives. The Giant Isopod belongs to a lineage that stretches back over 160 million years to a prehistoric Earth ruled by dinosaurs. Long before whales sang, before coral reefs bloomed, before humans ever imagined the sea, the ancestors of this creature were already crawling across ancient ocean floors. While mass extinctions wiped out countless species, asteroids, climate collapse, shifting oceans, the Giant Isopod endured. Not because it was fast, not because it was powerful, but because it was patient. Modern giant isopods can grow up to 16 inches long, sometimes more. Their bodies resemble enormous armored pill bugs encased in overlapping plates of calcium-hard exoskeleton. 7 pairs of legs grip the sediment beneath them. Large compound eyes, adapted to near-total darkness, stare outward, watching, waiting. To see one for the first time is unsettling. It looks prehistoric, because it is. Scientists classify them as Bathynymus, deep-sea relatives of the small isopods found under rocks in gardens. But this comparison almost feels insulting. These creatures are built for survival in one of the harshest environments known to life. Their armor protects them from predators and pressure alike. Their metabolism is astonishingly slow, so slow that a giant isopod can survive years without eating. Some individuals in captivity have refused food for over 5 years, conserving energy in a way that borders on the impossible. In the deep sea, meals are unpredictable. When food does arrive, usually in the form of a dead whale, fish, or squid falling from above, it is a feast worth waiting for. Scientists call these events whale falls. When a massive whale dies and sinks, it becomes an oasis of life on the abyssal plain. Giant isopods emerge from the darkness, sometimes in groups, sometimes alone, drawn by chemical cues drifting through the water. They do not rush. They crawl. Slowly, deliberately, they descend upon the carcass like armored monks of decay, tearing flesh with powerful mandibles. They gorge themselves until their bodies swell grotesquely, sometimes doubling in size. Then they retreat back into darkness to wait again. This is not mindless feeding. It is survival perfected. Movement for the giant isopod is energy expenditure, and energy is precious. Every step is calculated, every action economical. In a world where food might not come again for years, waste equals death. Their senses are finely tuned. Long antennae probe the water, detecting vibrations and chemical traces. Their eyes, though not sharp like those of surface predators, are exquisitely sensitive to faint glimmers of bioluminescence, the only light that exists at these depths. Around them, the deep ocean glows faintly with living light. Jellyfish pulse like floating stars. Tiny plankton flash defensively. Strange fish flicker and vanish. The giant isopod moves through this world like a tank in space, silent, armored, unstoppable. For centuries, humans had no idea these creatures existed. It wasn't until the late 19th century, during deep-sea dredging expeditions, that the first giant isopod was hauled up from the abyss. Sailors reportedly recoiled in shock. What came aboard looked like a nightmare, a massive alien bug from the depths. At first, scientists questioned whether it was real. But it was very real, and it changed how humanity viewed the deep sea. Before that moment, many believed the deep ocean was lifeless, too extreme to support complex organisms. The giant isopod proved them wrong. Life had not only adapted, it had thrived. As technology advanced, submarines and remotely operated vehicles began descending into the abyss. Cameras captured footage of giant isopods walking across the seafloor, navigating shipwrecks, and even climbing over underwater cables like silent sentinels. Every sighting raised more questions. How old do they get? How do they reproduce in near isolation? How many species remain undiscovered? Some scientists believe giant isopods may live decades, perhaps even longer. Their slow metabolism suggests lifespans far beyond what we understand. Their reproductive habits remain partially mysterious. Females brood their young in a pouch, protecting them until they are ready to face the abyss alone. No parental care, no guidance, just instinct, armor, and darkness. There is something haunting about that. The prehistoric world that birthed the giant isopod was vastly different. Oceans were warmer, continents were shifting, marine reptiles ruled the seas. Yet the basic blueprint of this creature barely changed. Why? Because it didn't need to. Evolution doesn't reward beauty or intelligence, it rewards what works. And the giant isopod's design worked so perfectly that nature saw no reason to improve it. Some researchers speculate that their size itself is an adaptation to deep-sea life, a phenomenon known as deep-sea gigantism. Larger bodies retain energy longer, move more efficiently, and survive famine better. In the abyss, bigger can mean safer. But size also brings vulnerability. As humans expand deeper into the oceans, deep-sea mining, trawling, pollution, entire ecosystems may be disrupted before we even understand them. And the Titan Scavenger cannot adapt quickly. It evolved for patience, not speed. Myths have begun forming around these creatures. Sailors whisper of giant bugs swarming wrecks. Internet stories exaggerate their size into monsters. But the truth is both less traumatic and more unsettling. They are not monsters. They are witnesses. They have watched oceans rise and fall. They have outlived dinosaurs. They have endured extinction after extinction, quietly cleaning the seafloor while worlds above burned, froze, and vanished. In them, scientists see clues to life's resilience, how organisms endure isolation, starvation, and crushing pressure. Studying their biology may help us understand aging, energy conservation, and even how life might survive on other worlds beneath icy oceans on moons like Europa or Enceladus. Because if life can persist here, it can persist almost anywhere. Yet for all we've learned, the giant isopod remains elusive. Most of its life happens beyond our reach, beyond our cameras, beyond our understanding. Every expedition reveals fragments, never the whole story. And perhaps that is fitting. Some creatures are not meant to be fully known. As the submersible ascends, lights fading, the giant isopod remains behind, returning to its slow crawl across the abyssal plain. No applause, no recognition, just time. Endless time. In the deepest darkness of Earth's oceans, the Titan Scavenger continues its ancient role, proof that survival does not always belong to the strongest, the fastest, or the smartest, but to the ones who know how to wait. And somewhere below us, in crushing silence and eternal night, it is still waiting.